and want you to know that it really doesn't end there, because I want you to understand this emotion and all the complexities of it. But I also want you to think about this one concept, and that concept is nature versus nurture. Okay?
Okay.
So nature.
Nature
would be,
has to do with genetics.
Yeah.
How you're wired, because that's what mom and dad gave you.
what they passed on to you, not just the color of your hair, the color of your eyes,
but your temperament.
But your temperament, sure, and that's sort of the printing of your brain, the electricity, the wiring, the way that you handle situations. So a person's personality that's given to be overreactive or underreactive, by their nature, has to do with some genetics. Now, there's another side of this, and again, the notion is nature versus nurture. You can be nurtured into
you can be nurtured to be angry,
or
not.
Or not. So a person can be taught, and that has to be with the social skills that are passed down to you. Now, we mentioned in a previous class the 5 factors that have to do with your personality development.
Right.
Genetics and DNA.
Which is nature.
Right. Sibling position.
You're
not in control of sibling position.
You're not in control of that, no.
Values and beliefs.
That's nurture.
Yeah. Family atmosphere.
That's nurture.
Role models and mentors.
That's nurture.
So of the 5 factors that have to do with your personality development, 3 of them are driven by your family. So you could find yourself being taught to be an angry person because your parents taught you, but it may not be in your genetic makeup.
Right.
Just because your mom was a hothead and your dad wasn't doesn't mean you are, because genetics are a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, we get the clients that come in, that's what I was taught. And we'll look at them and I'll say, well, okay, so you spent 20 years being taught. Your mom and dad taught you to do this. You have the next 20 years to figure out how you want to be. Yeah, so start working it out.
I like that. Yep, it's true. So taking all this information together, nature versus nurture, the 3 ways that we experience anger, the idea of stress, all-time high, etc., it's important for you to realize that although stress is a factor in how it impacts a person's reactivity, it just increases your risk, but it truly is not resultant. Just because you're under a lot of stress is not a predictor that you're going to be an angry person or that you're going to suppress a lot of anger. So it's important to understand that high stress does contribute, and it does contribute because it increases your reactivity.
Right.
It does decrease your ability to be patient.
Yeah, you're tolerant. It makes you less tolerant. Your inability to be patient, you're less tolerant.
And when there's a lot of change going on in your life, you get overwhelmed.
Right.
And we like to use the word force multiply. It force multiplies your frustration. You're getting hit from so many different directions that sometimes it just becomes unmanageable. Erodes your ability to handle new problems. I mean, if you think your plate's full, but then 2 more things happen, sometimes that's enough to make you go postal. Have you ever heard that term?
I have.
Postal?
Yeah.
And by that, it promotes what we call crisis levels. Now,